Yo, my boys, we back at it again. Today I'm gonna be answering another frequent question and giving y'all my opinion basically on the new card that just came out today. New packs came out yesterday with CP3 in the prime time packs. Chris Paul, Tim Duncan, Jerry Stackhouse, Bradley Beal, Laurie, and Marvin Bagley. I'm gonna be talking about this Chris Paul because he came out, he's looking pretty nice at the moment, so I'm gonna give y'all my truthful opinion because I played a few competitive games with him, and I'm gonna tell y'all from my play style, which is more of a 300 pick and roll, what he excels at and where he doesn't excel at, and that's that. So
the third seeded Jazz Gaming at point guard from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. It's Splashy.
So we're gonna look at his badge to start off real quick because I'm gonna have some gameplay on this right after I show you him. Basically, Chris Paul, I will be comparing him to Kyrie Irving because I said Kyrie Irving is the best point guard on the game. So we're gonna be comparing Chris Paul as a card and as a player with how he performs on the court to Kyrie. So basically, attributes: Chris Paul got a 92 mid range. Chris Paul got 86 3. Can't dunk at all. Ball handling, pass accuracy, up. He has amazing on-ball defense, which I could give you. He has amazing on-ball defense. He's just little, very little. He's like 6 feet. Rebounding is decent for his size. 90 speed, which actually puts him head and shoulders above a couple other point guards out right now. Let's look at Chris Paul's badges. He has Dimer Hoff, which is, I haven't got to test it OD this year, but it's an amazing badge from what I've been seeing. Now, the one thing that he does have that tells me he should be the best PG on the game is he has Mismatch Expert on Hall of Fame. That is the best badge on this game in any way, shape, or form. There is not a badge on this game that is better than it, and it's going to stay the best badge on this game until they make the rest of the badges start working how it makes Mismatch Expert work. He also has Hall of Fame Floor General, which is +4 to your entire team's attributes offensively. Let's see, what else does he have that matters? For you guys who shoot middies, he has Difficult Shots Hoff. He has Ankle Breaker. What else does he have? He has Pickpocket. He has Pick Dodger. He has Glue Hands. He has Clamps Gold. Not a lot of cards on this game have Clamps Gold, so he can actually hold his own defense. He has Clamps Gold. He got Interceptor Gold. He got D Leader, which is Floor General, but the opposite. He has Lucky 7. Bailout Gold. He has Unpluckable, which I told you guys in my last video is probably the best, supposed to be the best badge when them cards start coming out. And the gameplay I'm going to show you is going to be how he looked performing versus that card. Because I ended up playing versus some free agent cards in a competitive game, and it was not pretty. Or was it pretty? We'll see. Gold Bullet right out gate, that's amazing. Because the thing Kyrie can't get, he can't get Gold Bullet at the moment. He has Menace, he got Ball Stripper, Hyperdrive, Quick Chain Blinders, Chef, and Limitless Spot Up. His badges are amazing. He's the better card than Kyrie Irving at the moment by a large margin, and we're going to see how he performs in the game when I was playing with him and show a little bit of Kyrie next to him and just show you why my opinion might be a little scathed compared to the rest of the YouTubers or the rest of the content creators who are telling you he's the best card on the game. So here's a little bit of gameplay of Chris Paul, seeing what he can do with the ball while he has free agent Gary Payton 99, lat 99 still holding him. And the hitch with Chris Paul's jumper messes up his quick stop a lot more than other PGs, so it's a lot harder to use him in different scenarios when certain defenders are on you. And I'm a very good shooter, very good timer. Do I think I may need more time with him? Who knows? But Chris Paul, he can get some open. It's just his hitch. You want to release it a little bit faster because when he gets open, it should be green every single time. But on top of that, he did have Gary Payton guarding him, so I'm hard on him. As of this was probably his second game after I played one game on stream, but took a little layup. He can't dunk, so we'll live with that. But this isn't even really a gameplay. I'm just showing y'all how Chris Paul looked when I had him in the game versus a competitive player, because he was not the tippity top of the tier that I needed him to be when I was playing with him. It's decent defense. His body type is decent, but when he has the ball, it's okay, as you see, Chris Paul's dribble moves don't get him off of a defender how it should. Like the way his dribble moves did, and I even did the one of the behind the back, which is one of the most OP moves probably 2Ks ago. The way his dribble style does with his signature styles, he doesn't move how he's supposed to off of the body of the defender, how say a KYRIE or a Kemba Walker would. He moves a lot different than those two that I just named. But here's another screen we're doing. We're trying to move with him. We're seeing what we could do. We take a nice little midi. Still a hitch. He has a bad hitch in his shot. What I do think Chris Paul would be nice at this year is playing him in a double guard set and making him be your lockdown guard. Like how, say, like Marcus Smart is. Marcus Smart is a short lockdown, basically, for the Celtics in real life. Something of that nature. Like, you put Chris Paul in with whoever your point guard is, and you have him guard ball with the other person. Stamina's down a little bit, but yes, I had Gary Payton guard me this game. He ended up getting him a nice little quick stop. It's a good shot. Chris Paul coming up the court again. Just right out gate. Just right out gate. Chris Paul was, for some reason, just getting abused. He was getting abused by Gary Payton in this game. Did everything I could, but Chris Paul's getting abused for some reason by this person. I tried to pass out, but you have to wait for his hitch to load up before you can do a bailout pass. And for my play style, that kind of messed me up. But it's just like, Chris Paul is just like, for specific play styles, you'll be able to play him. But he's basically the same as like a Bob Cousy. And like with the way the movement has to be this year, I just don't think Chris Paul is going to be comfortable versus those real like people who are sticky. Like Gary Payton is a sticky free agent card. Chris Paul couldn't even move on him for real. Like, he's getting bumped up. He can't create space for himself. I couldn't even abuse the mismatch expert because I couldn't even get Gary Payton into the screen. Like, it's little stuff like that where it's like, just dogging a casual isn't going to show you that Chris Paul is, like, not head and shoulders above the rest, specifically versus people like this. Like, Chris Paul's trying to move, Gary Payton's over that. His space that he's trying to get off the moves don't really give him the space he's supposed to. Had to wait for the whole hitch. That's green though. It's a good shot. When I was open with him though, like, you can shoot it. Like, a wide open catch and shoot, I doubt he's gonna miss it. It's just he's not opening up what he's supposed to open up, like, with the ball. And I believe he's like, I don't even think it's really nothing wrong with him. It's just, as a card, I think he's a better overall card than most of the point guards out, if not the best overall card out right now. It's just, movement-wise, on somebody who's sticky, it's hard for him to do what he's supposed to do. As you can see, I'm getting ready to sub out Chris Paul because, one, he's tired. Two, he wasn't giving me what I needed him to give me in this game right away. I actually ended up taking him out, and when it came down to it, I couldn't keep him in, like, to try to make this comeback that I ended up having to make versus this guy with 9 out of 10 free agent cards. So you see Chris Paul is just not getting the space that he's supposed to. I believe I get one here though, but it's just, there we go, that's one. Yes sir, Chris Paul. If you can get completely open, it seems like Chris Paul is fine. It's just his movement wise when somebody's on him is very ridiculed because he doesn't just open up what he's supposed to open up. So in my opinion, it comes down to Chris Paul. For certain people, I think you'll be able to use him. I think for those who play like me, and when I say play like me, y'all know what I mean, Chris Paul will not be better for you guys' play style over KYRIE and Kemba Walker, who actually create space while dribbling. Chris Paul doesn't really create space while dribbling, but when he gets open, he can green it. But when you're playing a good person or a sticky defender, and if they jump, it's going to be a contest every single time. Like, they can literally get cooked on purpose and jump, and that's just what it is. So we compare them side by side with whatever Kyrie Irving's first play is, because I put in Uncle Drew out of anger because Chris Paul wasn't giving me everything he was supposed to early in the game. Uncle Drew's first play versus a good defender in Scottie Pippen. Like, Kyrie's able to, like, I don't know if you guys just saw that, but like Kyrie was able to push off of the reach and get around the screen into a nice quick stop three. Like, that's what I mean by movement wise. Kyrie Irving or Kemba Walker or I don't even know, Ron Boone, what people are telling me, are able to move off of sticky defenders to get open. But Chris Paul is the better card than them. It's just for what you'll need from most of these cards, that's not what it is. Here we have another play with Kyrie Irving versus the Don Scottie Pippen, and he just was able to burst around him for a nice little layup. Like, I just believe his movement is going to carry him to be a better point guard than most until a signature style based point guard comes out. Like, probably more think of good dribblers, because I think this year that will matter in hints to, let's say, getting open. Like, maybe a Stephon Marbury, maybe a Rafer Alston will come out. Stephen Curry, like, point guards like that I believe will be better than the rest, because they'll actually be moving off of bodies when, like, they have to get open. Here's Kyrie Irving versus the same person when Gary Payton is in the game. So we're going to see if we can get you guys some plays just with Kyrie Irving facing up Gary Payton compared to how much you saw Chris Paul getting bumped up by Gary Payton, if you guys can see what I mean. Setting up for the pick and roll on the same defender in Gary Payton. He got him a good look, just it wasn't open. Gary Payton wasn't able to stick to him like glue how he was Chris Paul when I was showing you guys him trying to get around the screen with the hitch. Like, Gary Payton couldn't stick to Kyrie because his movement allowed him to get around it. It was just a missed shot. But Kyrie is moving off of the Gary Payton who was bumping the other card in Chris Paul when I was playing him in the beginning of the game. Here we got Kyrie Irving facing up Gary Payton again for a nice lay. He's getting off of Gary Payton. Gary Payton can't stick to him like glue, and he's just getting to wherever he wants to get to. This is why I will say I prefer Kyrie Irving over Chris Paul. From the gameplay I have initiated versus the same person with the same free agent cards, same stats versus everybody. One performed better, the other one didn't perform how he was supposed to. And Gary Payton is an amazing defender, as you can see right in front of me. Gary Payton actually does stick defense, so that's why I'm saying I think I am being a little bit hard on the Chris Paul, because that's why I think other content creators would probably have played like somebody who wasn't just that and was moving like with the Chris Paul versus other people. He was doing everything he had to do. And that's probably everything I have for you guys today with the little cups with the comparison. So all in all, my opinionated statement on it would be, if you have a play style similar to me where it's like pick and roll when you're trying to score, you want to do this, you want to do that, and get open, I believe your point guards need to be Kemba Walker and Kyrie Irving as of right now, unless you get lucky and pull the Ron Boone out of the vault. I think that's where we should stay with that as of the moment. But I believe if you are more defense oriented and like wanna and are gonna make more passes and gonna play more of a simplistic play style that may involve mid ranges, a couple drives, this and that, I believe you should get the Chris Paul. But after the clips I showed, I was just wanting to show you guys one of them sticking versus like a Gary Payton and the other one versus Gary Payton, so you could see like who was moving easier, who was moving worse. In my opinion, I believe Kyrie Irving is better than Chris Paul for me. That's my opinion though. So like don't go out to your favorite content creator and just be, oh my god, Kyrie Irving is so much better than Chris Paul. Splash said it. We may not have the same play style, so you can't just compare me to that person. I play like this and he plays like that. Until everybody's meta originates back to one oriented play style, you can't really say like this or that. You just gotta go off. I'm just going off my opinions, off me playing the same person with the same card and who moved better and who I was struggling to get open a little bit more with. So I would say Kyrie Irving is better at the moment than Chris Paul. Thank you for watching the video. We're going to be having more videos comparing certain PGs, certain shooting guards, certain centers, who I think is better for this reason and that reason, and like why I think this card should be in your lineup over this card if you play like me, or why I will be running this card over that card. If y'all have any questions added to like my Myteam, like y'all want to ask about Cliff Hagan or Glenn Robinson or Gus or maybe even Shaq that I just ended up picking up, please, you can put it in the comments, or you can always DM me and just be like, can you make like a little video involving this, and this, and I'm gonna try to just get to as many as I can, because you know I'm still starting with this YouTube stuff and I'm trying to get to where I can get so we can just grow as a community. Love every single one of y'all. Splash out.